Hi guys, my name is Benjamin Gutierrez and today I will be talking to you about how to make the perfect matcha latte. I personally love matcha. I think it's a great way to get your caffeine for the day. I think it's better than coffee only because coffee can be so harsh on your stomach because it's very acidic. Matcha is a green tea made from specific tea leaves that are grounded from Japan, and it's very good. I really like it. It has a sort of umami flavor, and it's very different. If you haven't had matcha, you probably would be off put by the flavor at first, but it is very delicious. I promise you that. And if you make it my way, then you're gonna love it. Matcha, when making a matcha, you want to get good matcha. You can get culinary grade matcha, which is like the lesser of the two. There's culinary and ceremonial grade matcha. Ceremonial grade is all the rage right now. Everybody's talking about it, and a lot of people are upset because with ceremonial grade matcha, typically people just drink the matcha straight, but people are putting ceremonial grade matcha in their lattes, which I do, which I know has been getting a lot of hate online recently, but I think you can honestly genuinely taste the difference between culinary grade matcha and ceremonial grade matcha. If you've never had a matcha before, then you might not be able to taste the difference, but I think it does make a huge difference. And people say, well, ceremonial grade matcha is very expensive. But if you think about it, you're going to a coffee shop paying about $8 for matcha when you could really just be buying it and making it at home. And about 35 servings would cost you roughly 40 bucks. So it's really not that expensive when you're putting it in those terms. Now, when making matcha, you're gonna need a bamboo whisk. This is what I would recommend. You can use a frother and people do use that, but this just gives it the best texture for your latte. So that's what I would recommend. You also need a matcha bowl. You don't need a specific bowl for matcha. You just really need something that's flat at the bottom that you're gonna be able to whisk the matcha well. You're also gonna need a sift in order to sift the matcha into the bowl, just so you can get the right texture. You're gonna need some milk, you're gonna need your cup, ice. This is an iced matcha latte. That's how I personally drink it. You're also gonna need a sweetener of choice. You don't need sweetener, but I would probably recommend it. I always put a little bit of sweetener in my matcha. And you're gonna need some boiling water. First, what you're gonna wanna do is boil some water and then put your whisk in the water. You're doing this so that the matcha this won't break into the matcha because it is wood and you wouldn't want that in your drink. So it's just to soften the bristles up. After that, you're gonna want to you're gonna want to heat up some water to about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius. And that's so that your matcha won't burn. It's like hot enough to melt the matcha and like give it the right texture, but not cold enough to like not incorporate it correctly. So once you have that water at that temperature, you're gonna wanna sift your matcha into your bowl. Sift your matcha into your bowl, about 1 to 2 teaspoons for one latte. And then you're gonna wanna take this out of the hot water that you had it in and whisk the matcha. When you're whisking the matcha, and you're gonna want about 2.5 ounces of water in the matcha, of course, before you start whisking it. 2.5 ounces of water in the bowl with the matcha. Then you're gonna wanna whisk it in a zigzag motion. And you're gonna wanna do that kind of vigorously for about 30 seconds until everything is dissolved and well incorporated. Then you're gonna wanna take your matcha whisk out just a tad so it's still at the surface so you can get like a nice microfoam, and do the same zigzag motion for about 10 seconds, 15 seconds, just enough so that the big bubbles can be small bubbles, and that'll give you a good texture for your latte. After you've done that, you can get your cup, put some milk in there, whatever milk you want. I personally like oat milk. You can put about 8 ounces of milk in there, I think is the perfect amount. Then you can get your matcha and put it into the bowl, into the cup with the milk. Add some ice. Add about 1 to 2 teaspoons of your sweetener of choice. I usually put maple syrup. I put about 1 teaspoon of maple syrup and a dash of vanilla extract. And you just mix that up together and you have a delicious matcha latte. Matcha is going to change the world. I can promise you that. It's taking over right now. Everyone's talking about matcha. There's been sort of a matcha craze all over the internet. So you really have to hop on the trend because I promise you're gonna love it. Thank you so much for listening.